So, you know that old saying about the best laid plans of mice and men often going astray? This is definitely one of those times. My name is Tony Chacon, this is Couch Potato Lucha Libre, and this is my review of NXT Takeover in your house. Before we get into the actual review itself, let's talk about that set. That is possibly the greatest pay-per-view set I've seen since Capital Punishment 2011. That was a very long time ago. Now, I will tell you, we started off hot and heavy. Up first was a 6-woman tag team match. The team of Shotzi Blackheart, Tegan Nox, and Mia Yim up against Dakota Kai, Candice LeRae, and Reina Gonzalez. This was an amazing opener. These ladies brought it. Tegan showing off that she could fly and she could move. Reina showing off her power. Shotzi showing off that she's fearless, even after taking that massive bump on NXT on Wednesday. Candice LeRae and Mia Yim just being themselves and having that Gargano, Lee, LeRae, Yim rivalry feed into this match. For the finish, Yim and LeRae are actually already in the back. They're fighting so deeply. And out of nowhere, you see Tegan Nox, shiniest wizard to Dakota Kai. 1, 2, 3. Dakota Kai is pinned by Tegan Nox. The most satisfying possible ending of this entire match. This match gets 3.5 masks out of 5. It was a great display of what these ladies can do. It was a great kickoff to NXT TakeOver in your house. And honestly, this is a really high bar that they set. We can only see if it goes up from there. Next up is a match between Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Nothing on the line but pride here, but Finn was attacked by Priest a few weeks ago with that nightstick. He also did the whole Triple H thing where he sat on the chair. Thank you, Mauro Ranallo, for that one. Now, this match comes down to two things. Damian Priest set up a set of stairs, and he was going for the Razor's Edge pretty much the entire last act of this match. Of course, he was going for the Razor's Edge on the bigger part of the steel stairs that he had set up on the floor. He was going for the Razor's Edge. Balor drops down, drop kicks Damian Priest off the apron, back first. I would not want to take that bump ever, even on accident. Holy crap. Gets back in the ring, double foot stomp to the back of the head, coup de grace from the top rope. Finn Balor wins 1, 2, 3. Priest looks good in defeat because it took him slamming into steel steps in order to lose. And let's be honest, this match was great. I think that this is the display that you want to put Damian Priest on. If you want him to be NXT's version of Baron Corbin, this is a good way to do it, because he might lose high-profile matches. He's also a big dude who can toss you around. 3.5 masks out of 5 for me, because I think that this was a solid follow-up to exactly what the ladies kind of teed up in the opening match. Up next is Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT North American title, and I'm not even going to try here. There's a lot to cover. So, the opening is actually all the footage from the table for two with Johnny and Candice and then Keith and Mia, them having their meals. Then you cut to Johnny Gargano walking out of his house, adjusting the thermostat in front of a picture of Doc Hendricks, shout out to Michael P.S. Hayes, walking out the front door that they have on the set and locking it with keys that he immediately stuffs in his trunks. Not exactly my first choice for storage space, but you do you. Keith Lee is a ball of fire in this one. There is just so much. Even an injured Keith Lee, where he's got an injured eye, he's got bruised fingers. Keith Lee and Johnny Gargano do just so much in this match. Johnny Gargano finally gets an advantage and decides to run away, which, you're a heel. He runs to the door, tries to open it, forgets that he locked it. And then from the angle of a Ring doorbell that is sitting on the set, we actually see Keith Lee walk up behind him and ram him face first into the door. I'm a happy Tony. After a signature Keith Lee pounce, which sends Johnny Gargano through the plexiglass, LA Kings, if you're watching, Keith Lee is your new defenseman. I don't want to hear it. Get him some skates. After that, Johnny is unconscious. He's being carried back into the ring by Keith Lee. Now, Candice LeRae comes out. Keith Lee sets down Johnny. Mia Yim comes out after she chased Candice LeRae around the arena, even though they're both changed. That doesn't make sense. Whatever. Candice and Mia fight on the outside. Johnny pulls the keys out of his trunks because he finally remembered he had them. Hits Lee in the eye with the keys again. And then proceeds to throw super kicks like his last name was Jackson. Cannot get the pinfall. Finally, Keith Lee just absolutely dunks Gargano with a choke slam or a spinebuster or something. So it's something in that area where the head is in the middle of the chest and goes straight up. You let me know what it is. I think he looked like he was dunking him. Anyway, Keith Lee finally roars himself back to life. Spirit Bomb picks Gargano back up. Big Bang Catastrophe. 1, 2, 3. 5 masks out of 5. What else is there to say? This match is one you need to go out of your way to watch. There's no excuse for you not to see this match. Match of the night. So next up is Adam Cole versus the Velveteen Dream in a backlot brawl for the NXT Championship. I'm not going to lie to you, I expected this to main event the same way that the Boneyard match did back at WrestleMania, but what are we going to do? Now, this match didn't really live up to my expectations. It was still a really good match, though. We still get spots with the fire extinguisher. You still get a spot of Adam Cole falling through a windshield off a ladder. And you get Dexter Lumis kidnapping Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish in the back of an Impala and then just kind of driving off. If you follow Kyle O'Reilly on Twitter, he's looking for Roddy, unfortunately. It's sad. Anyway, this match ends with so many chairs being thrown in the ring, me being confused if there needs to be an EC dub chant, Velveteen Dream hitting a Dream Valley driver, and then the Purple Rainmaker onto a seated Adam Cole who's already in the chair, and then Adam Cole hitting the Panama Sunrise off the top onto the stack of chairs. 1, 2, 3. The Velveteen Dream cannot challenge for the NXT Championship as long as Adam Cole is champion, and Adam Cole retains. He sits in the back of this gigantic lifted truck with Undisputed Era insignias everywhere, throws up the deuces. Adam Cole, baby. Might not have lived up to my expectations, but my expectations were pretty high for this, considering what happened with the Firefly Funhouse, with Money in the Bank, with the aforementioned Boneyard match. Still, this is a solid 4 masks out of 5. This is an entertaining match from start to finish. There aren't a ton of lulls. You still get the interference from the Undisputed Era. Dexter Lumis shows up for literally no reason. There is an Uber spot. I am perfectly fine with this match. 4 out of 5 on it. Next up is your Ritual Sacrifice match. At least that's what I'm calling it. Karrion Kross versus Tommaso Ciampa. Anytime Scarlett is on my screen, I'm a happy Tony. Anyway, this match is very much a prolonged squash match. You see Ciampa finally take advantage, get some knees in, take down Karrion Kross, which hasn't been done on NXT. He hits Willow's Bell for it too. He tries to go for the fairy tale ending and gets countered out into the most wicked modified F5 ever. It's probably an F10. Karrion Kross just launches Tommaso Ciampa. Now, the finish of this match, of course, goes from that modification to the F5 into the cross jacket. Tommaso Ciampa does not tap, importantly. Does not tap. Passes out from the cross jacket. This is 4.5 masks out of 5. This is exactly how you need to build a killer character. You can't call him Killer Kross, but that doesn't matter because that's what he is a killer. And I definitely think that someone like Tommaso Ciampa, someone like Johnny Gargano, these guys should be the face-heel gatekeepers. And of course, whenever you look at, whenever you go back on it, you've built Karrion Kross to defeat one of the longest reigning NXT champions. You've built Karrion Kross to literally kill every person in a 5-foot radius. You've built Karrion Kross to make you really not want to look at Scarlett Bordeaux, which is very difficult. Now, I will go ahead and interject here. That is exactly how you build Karrion Kross, but WWE, you don't build the greatest wrestling match ever by playing Panic at the Disco. Just as a heads up. In your main event for the evening, we have the NXT Women's Championship on the line. Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai in a triple threat match. Honestly, this is the weakest match on the card, but that's not really saying a lot. Because this match still had a lot of really good spots in it. There was still Charlotte being the dominant one. Still Io and Rhea teaming up to take out Charlotte occasionally. Still having Io be able to fly around the ring. Still having Rhea with that chip on her shoulder showing that she didn't feel like she deserved to lose that title. I agree wholeheartedly. You get a couple of really great spots here. You get Rhea thrown into the plexiglass. You get Io tossed into the ring post. On top of that, you get Charlotte hitting natural selection on Io after she hits this massive Meteora and was in the middle of celebrating. You get the top rope riptide from Rhea Ripley. I think my favorite part of this match, though, is, of course, Io Shirai taken to the sky. She actually gets thrown through the window with the in-your-house screens behind it. You get the glitch effect, of course. I don't think she actually hit it. My brother was watching it with me. He said she might have. I don't know. Either way, this leads to, of course, spot of the match, Io Shirai standing above the door of the house that they're using for the set and plancha onto Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Absolute greatest thing I have ever seen in my life. The finish of this match comes with Charlotte finally getting Rhea Ripley into the figure eight after Rhea and Io had beaten the ever-loving tar out of each other after using a kendo stick to get Io out of a prism trap, which is that reverse Texas Cloverleaf thing, which I really like. Now, Rhea Ripley is probably about that close to tapping out. Next thing you see is Io Shirai hitting the moonsault from the top rope, landing on Rhea Ripley. Charlotte is wrapped up in the figure eight. She can't stop her. Ref counts 1, 2, 3. We have a new NXT Women's Champion. It is Io Shirai. This match is 3.5 masks out of 5. I'll explain why. I really think that this match wasn't really built up as well as it should be. I think Io Shirai being over as a face as opposed to a heel is not what WWE is going for. I also think that Rhea Ripley being over as a face was not what WWE was necessarily going for. They were trying to build Charlotte up to be this face, but she didn't act like it. She acted very heelish throughout this whole thing, but she was the one we were supposed to be cheering for. And let's be honest, Io Shirai has done more in the last year on NXT than most other women have, with the possible exception of Shayna Baszler. I think she deserved it. I think it was a long time coming. But at the end of the day, that match, the finish is what gave it that extra half. It's a 3.5 out of 5. I give final grades on a 5-point scale. You take the points, you take the average, and then you kind of figure out whether or not you want to round up or round down. Your average for this one is a 4 out of 5. I'm going to round that up to a 4.25 out of 5. The through lines are what do it for this one. Not only do you have the retro Lord Alfred Hayes ice cream bar promos, you have Todd Pettengill shilling merchandise on a 900 number that doesn't exist anymore. You have DX, well, what's left of DX in WWE, fighting on a computer. Shawn Michaels still hunting and pecking as he did in 2006 and 1997. The through lines, the aesthetic, everything about this show was wonderful. And let's be honest, it made me launch early because I felt like I had to say something. I felt like this needed to be talked about right this instant. If you enjoyed this review, like, share, subscribe, help me grow my fan base because I want to help my YouTube grow. I want to help wrestling YouTube grow. My name is Tony Chigón. This is Couch Potato Lucha Libre. Come back Friday. I'm actually going to have a double episode launch. Should be El Huracán Ramirez on a Lucha Libre history lesson and the WWE Tag Team title reign of Brian Kendrick and Paul London. So those should be really interesting. Come on back. Come and see me. Join me. Join us. Wait, that's somebody else. Come back around. We'll see you guys then.